This is a simple Angular component and it has stopped updating the values in the browser. I change the data and nothing happens. And this might sound familiar to most of you. And it's a common and confusing bugs in Angular, and it comes down to one thing, which is chain detection. Once you understand this, you will never be confused again. In the next few minutes, you will understand exactly what chain detection is, the difference between default and OnPush strategies, and when each one destroys your performance, and the modern fix with Angular signals. So, let's start. Angular has one job: keep your template in sync with your data. Chain detection is the mechanism that does this. It walks your entire component tree from top to the bottom, checking if anything is changed, and it re-renders any component where it finds a difference. By default, Angular runs these checks on every single async event, every click, every timeout, every HTTP response, or every promise. It uses a library called Zone.js to intercept these events and automatically trigger a check cycle. This works great until it doesn't. I'll show you exactly what breaks in just a moment, but first let me show you what happens in a real app with hundreds of components. Here is a product car component. It receives a product object as an input with a default chain detection strategy. Every time any event fires anywhere in the application, Angular checks this component, even if the product's data doesn't change at all. The fix is one line: add change detection, ChangeDetectorRef to your decorator. With OnPush, Angular only checks this component in three specific situations. 1. An input reference changes. 2. An event originates inside this component, or the third one, you trigger it manually. That is it. But here's the problem. And this is that bug which I showed you at the start. If you mutate an object instead of replacing it, OnPush won't detect the change. Watch right now. And the fix is always to replace the reference and never mutate it. Use the split operator to create a new object. Now OnPush sees a new reference and fires the check. Sometimes you genuinely need to trigger CD manually, that is change detection manually. For example, when data comes from outside of Angular's zone, like a WebSocket. There are two tools, markForCheck, and it schedules the component for the next chain detection cycle. Another is the detectChanges. DetectChanges runs a chain detection check immediately and synchronously. Inject ChangeDetectorRef in your component and use whichever fits your timing. Here is a quick pro tip. If you use a sync pipe in your template, it automatically calls markForCheck for you whenever a new value arrives. This is why async pipe and OnPush are the perfect pair. No manual wiring needed. Angular 17 and above gives you a third option, which is called signals. When your component reads a signal, Angular tracks that dependency automatically. No Zone.js, no manual markForCheck, no immutable updates required. The component re-renders precisely when that signal changes and nothing more. So here's the summary. By default chain detection strategy, use it for simple apps and it checks everything. For OnPush chain detection strategy, performance critical components should be used. Pass new references to your components which is using inputs. And the signals, this signals is used for modern Angular which is reactive by design. The rule is simple. Start with OnPush on every component. You will thank yourself later. And to support this, there are news that OnPush will be the default in upcoming Angular versions. So stay tuned. I'll let you know when that happens. If the chain detection confusion is clear to you, hit like and subscribe to Frontend Force for more such deep dives. See you in the next one.